I hit my mid-20s with a broken heart, an empty bank account, and a degree collecting dust. The dissonance between who I had hoped to become and who I had become felt unbearable. I was a single mom with no job, no direction, and no idea who I even was anymore. My best did not even feel good enough for me. Everywhere I turned, it seemed like everyone else had it all figured out. Careers they loved, steady relationships, no kids to worry about, and lives that seemed picture perfect. But me, I felt like I was stuck on the sidelines and lost in the chaos, and I wondered a lot, will I ever catch up? The contrast between their seemingly effortless success and my own struggle was stark and disheartening. I'm sharing with you my story of feeling lost and left behind and specific action plans that I took to deal with such emotions. I was left questioning if I would ever find my footing or carve out a space where I belonged. I remember one evening walking home from church and feeling like the walls were closing in on me. I barely had enough money to buy groceries for dinner with my son, who was barely 2 at the time. Do you know how it feels to have nothing but wanting to give everything? I'm certain this feeling is common among many people. The helplessness of wanting to provide more than I could give relentlessly tormented me, and I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone around me how much I was truly struggling. So I kept it all inside, just trying to survive without falling apart. The fear of judgment and shame of not measuring up made me retreat into silence, trying to keep it together while barely holding on. It was a solitary battle, as I'm sure a lot of us have felt before. But then I realized for me to find myself, I had to be honest with myself that I was struggling, that I was feeling lost, and I needed to start trying anything, everything really. Only action brings change. You cannot just sit there and overthink it. Feeling left behind and lost is common, especially in a world where social media often highlights others' successes. It's a universal emotion, and it's okay to feel this way. And along the years, after having conversations with my friends of different ages, I realized that people have personal battles, even when their outward appearances suggest otherwise, like they have it all together. Feeling lost is a universal emotion, a common thread that binds us in our shared human experience. And the true loss is not from feeling left behind, but not finding the strength to rise again. It is in our ability to confront and move past these moments of despair that we discover our capacity for growth. One day, something changed that helped me shift my perspective. Someone sent me a video with a simple yet powerful message that we spend so much time watching others immersed on TV, soap operas, and the likes, while those same TV stars go on with their lives and they achieve their dreams. Basically, spending too much time on TV. I was young and this message hit me really hard because I had resorted to screen time to bury my emotions. I can't recall the exact quote, but it struck a nerve. I realized while I couldn't change everything that had happened in my past, I could take control of the narrative of my future by shifting my perspective. To move forward, I needed to start by forgiving myself For all the bad choices that I had made and the people who had hurt me, nothing prepares you for how difficult it is to forgive oneself. After all, I am a lady with faults, just like everybody out there, and I needed to grow beyond them. The first thing I did was set personal goals and clarify my vision, and then take action. Setting personal goals and working towards them is a good starting point when feeling lost. Clarify your vision. For instance, set achievable goals that align with your values and passions, and break this down into short-term and long-term objectives. In my case, I needed to find a job that brought me both fulfillment and a means to support my family. This path required me to reconcile with my past and actively pursue a future where my actions aligned with my aspirations, including embracing my vulnerabilities along the way. Second thing I had to do was go through a mindset shift. I needed to learn to reframe my mindset from falling behind to being on a different path. Everyone's timeline is different and success is not linear. But sometimes you're in point A trying to go to B, but you end up in C because the road to success is not linear. I truly believe that my only competition is with myself. That what society expects of every 20-something-year-old, whether male or female, is built on a system that does not fit everyone. And judging our worth against a single pedestal is unfair because each of our journeys is unique. Take the idea that women should be married, pregnant, and be established in their careers by 30. It only adds to the mental anguish of feeling left behind. Life's values isn't determined by conforming to these external expectations, but by crafting a life that reflects our authentic selves. Life is about creating yourself and not just finding yourself. So creating myself became my new mantra. It filled me with a passion so strong it changed my purpose. And rather than striving to meet imposed milestones, I focused on defining my own path and building a future that resonated with my personal aspirations and values. This shift in perspective illuminated a path forward. It allowed me to embrace my new journey with renewed vigor and self-compassion, something we forget to do sometimes. Aristotle said, "You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of mind next to honor." It does get emotional to look back to the steps that I took to reclaim my life, and maybe we'll, save the tears for another video. But in short, I made a bold decision to uproot my life from my hometown to Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, and then after a while to United States. This whole process has made me realize that the hardest of choices require the strongest of wills. And if you're feeling left behind, you need a strong will to start over. Ultimately, I also realized I needed to build a support system to help me navigate through these feelings. I knew I couldn't do it alone, so I asked for help. If you ask me, seeking for help when needed, whether from friends, family, or professionals, is a flex. It's a flex. It's a sign of strength and not weakness. So I remember friends and family graciously hosted me when I made the big move and as I was job searching. And I eventually did find a job at a school to teach English. And then I also started freelancing, a passion that I had put in the back burner for a long time. I also created a vision board, which I like to call a prayer board. And I wrote down my vision for my life, and each day I prayed over it and diligently worked towards making it a reality. My ultimate goal was to work in media, and through great networking, I was able to achieve that. So isn't it awesome how dreams come true when you start small? It's also important to remember to celebrate your milestones if you're feeling left behind and lost. At this point of my life, nothing was glamorous, but I soaked in the beauty of fulfilling life in a direction that was better than what I had before. I had taken a chance on myself, and when I look back at where I started and where I am, or I was back then, I smile and bask at just the grace of miracles that is abundant to, all of us. Celebrating small milestones can boost your motivation. There's a bird tweeting back here. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Reflecting on how far you've come regularly and celebrating small milestones can boost motivation and reinforce the idea that you are making progress. Looking back, a lot has happened, but everything has slowly and surely fallen into place. I am celebrating milestones as I go. I am practicing gratitude. I do enjoy my life now more than ever. I try to live as authentic as I can. Societal expectations do not have such a strong hold on me as it used to, and I have learned how to get out of the comparison trap. For those who find themselves feeling lost, remember that this journey of finding your path often involves navigating through uncertainties and self-doubt. It's easy to become discouraged when it seems like everyone else around you has their lives perfectly aligned while you feel lost. But it's important to understand that everyone's path is unique. It's okay to feel lost. It's a natural part of the process of self-discovery and growth. Embrace it. Take a chance on yourself and maximize on those little specks of time. What do I do next?
Just be yourself.
Sometimes the most profound insights and personal revelations come from moments of uncertainty and struggle. My team and I have curated a free workbook that can help you navigate through such emotions. And if you're interested, send us an email and I'll send it to you for free, no strings attached. Thank you. See you in the next video.